You guys, what's going on? SJ again, bringing on another Fortnite and TF2 related video on my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going over 5 reasons why Fortnite is extremely akin or becoming like Team Fortress 2. So in this video, I am not by any means stating Fortnite is a similar game to TF2. I am simply going to be going over 5 reasons why I think Fortnite is becoming like TF2. They're entirely different games. Fortnite is Battle Royale, Team Fortress 2 is a first person only, which is the major difference right there. First person shooter, which is made by Valve, team based, objective based. It's a really good game. But what I'll be going over in this video is just 5 striking similarities between the two. And these similarities are things which affect the community, how the games last, etc, etc. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Oh, actually, really quick, before I start the video, the controversy between TF2 and Fortnite on my channel in terms of what I upload will be addressed at the end, so if you're only here for that, just skip right there, but whatever. Without further ado, yeah, I said it before. So the first point I'm going to be going over is the cosmetic customizability. Now, when Fortnite Battle Royale was first released, there weren't that many skins, and the ones that were there were not really worth spending money on. No offense, they just weren't that great. They were pretty much just different colorations of the stock skins. Now, what has happened in recent updates, like very recent updates, is they have added the ability to change your skin, the backpack you have, your emotes, your particle effects you can put up in forms of I don't know if they're in the emote slot, like those little GG things, salt things, happy face, lol things you can put up in game, but no one does because like it just doesn't work in game. Like it works, but it's like why would you do that? But anyway, there's such a large range of customizability in how your player can look, and you can look at some really striking similarities in the way this is carried out. You have your glider, you have your skin, you have your backpack, you have the particle effects that trail behind you as you jump from the bus, you have the particle effects you can release in-game, you have emotes like you're seeing in the background right now, and yeah, it is so much customization, and the method you go about to get this customization is very similar to that in TF2. Now, you will argue that TF2 has trading. Stuff is extremely cheap in TF2, different cosmetics are extremely cheap unless you want unusuals. That is not true. We're going to be looking at how you buy it from the actual developer. If you look at that, then the prices are quite similar. Skins in Fortnite are very expensive. Hats and weapons and stuff in TF2 are very expensive if you buy them from a Manco store like you would in Fortnite. So it is incredibly similar. So the next point we're going to be looking at is the casual aspect and how people play the game in both Fortnite and TF2. TF2 is an extremely casual game for most players, although there is a very strong competitive scene that consists of a few highly into it players like Banny, etc, etc. Fortnite is the same. Most players are extremely casual. It's not PUBG by any stretch of the mind and or imagination. It's just really not. However, Fortnite also has a very competitive community. There are teams that get made. There are squads that go in to boost their stats. There are so many different competitive aspects which many different portions of the community choose to be in over the general casualization of the game that is offered to the general public, which is what I play as, which is what you probably play as, which is what pretty much everyone plays as. We're not extremely tryhard, we're not China #1, we just play the game because it's fun, it's nutty, it's crazy, it's just really fun. Now, one of the more sort of flat out, well, the last point was very flat out and could be applied to many different games. This is the cartoony design of the game, the art style. And I really like this, how it's all cartoony, it's not extremely realistic, doesn't really care too much for that. It's really, really good. If you look at games 10 years ago that tried to be realistic, they're not really played anymore. By a vast majority of people. Of course, there will be people that still play them, but they don't look realistic anymore. You look at Fortnite, it looks like it could have been made 5 years ago, because it's cartoony. You look at TF2, also looks like it could be made 5 years ago. although TF2 has far less details and textures and stuff. But that's because it was made 10, nearly 11 years ago now, and TF2's lasted far better than any other realistic graphic-based games of its era. So you can really draw points at that. Fortnite will outlast PUBG, unless the devs manage to stuff it up entirely. It's going to be pretty hard to do, considering it's like one of the most popular, if not the most popular game across pretty much all consoles and PC, like Mac, etc. It's really going to be hard for them to stuff it up. It's really popular right now. Now, in 10 years' time, PUBG won't look realistic at all. The graphics for that style will have moved on very significantly. However, Fortnite, since it didn't try to look realistic, will still look good because its art style doesn't care about realism. It just does not care for it whatsoever, which is really sweet, I think. It means it's going to outlast other realistic-based games by a mile. If not a nautical mile or 5 or kill me. So next up we're going to be looking at skins equals skill, or the market, the target audience of the game. Fortnite and TF2 are both aimed at being able to be played by adults, able to play by kids. They're aimed at kids around like 12, 13, 14. It's because of the cartoony graphics, the game style, the casualization. It's all based towards a certain market, and that market is quite similar to that of TF2, and I think that is really cool. It's a pretty cool comparison. Both are free to play. Both are available on both console and PC. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I nearly went to the dark side there for a second. Sorry to you people that play console. PC is just better. Although, to be fair, TF2, let's be honest, no one plays TF2 on Xbox. I mean, yeah, it came out with the orange box, but if you paid for TF2 and you still play, either props to you because you still play, or you sucker, especially if you bought it right before it became free to play. Anyway, they're both free to play games with, which means they can be purchased by children, or not purchased, got downloaded by children and played by children, and their target audience is generally children. But then they also, for adults who want to have more sort of, there's Save the World for either rich kids or adults, and then there's all the customization on the person, like, you know, the cosmetics, skins, etc., etc. That is in both TF2 and Fortnite, and yeah, I've already spoken about that. But it does tie into the different point of which market they're aimed at, and that being young kids and adults and pretty much a whole range of people. Like it's aimed so that anyone can get it. If you're not allowed to spend anything online, you can get Fortnite. You just won't be able to get skins or the battle pass or whatever. But same goes for TF2. If you want to play it, that's right, it's free. But if you want to get skins or the contracts or whatever, you have to pay. So it's aimed at a whole range of people, but it's aimed to be friendly and possible to get by anyone. Now, my final reason is just the absolute insanity that goes on in both games. TF2 is a complete cluster. It's just this. I mean, there's 12 people on each team, and they're all shooting, and it's just a complete like storm of bullets. Fortnite, on the other hand, is full of glitches. It's full of just nutty moments. I mean, you need look up Fortnite funny moments, and you'll see God knows how many clickbait, shitty, fucking, yeah. But it's just really, like, both games are completely nuts. They're both casual, like I've said before, but they're just both completely nuts, and I think that's what I like. That's what makes me play both of them in pretty much equal proportions. Fortnite more lately. So this point is also going to stretch out into Fortnite and TF2 on my channel. TF2 is not gone by any means. I've slowed down TF2 videos. Fortnite videos are quicker to make. That is not a lie. And with school and stuff, it's just more convenient for me to make Fortnite videos. I still play TF2 just as much as, well, not as much as I did, but I still enjoy it just as much as I did. And I enjoy Fortnite just as much as TF2. They're both really good, well-made, and well-designed games. So yeah, there's not much more to say on that. Both games are entirely insane, and neither one is better than the other. So this is not a video that will say which one is better, this is just a video pointing out some striking similarities between the two. So guys, as always, leave a like if you did enjoy the video, or a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video. Yeah, I know, I'm like one of the only YouTubers that encourages their viewers to dislike, I know, right? Be sure to subscribe if you found I was someone entertaining. If you didn't, then don't subscribe. Because there's nothing worse than having like 1k subs and getting 50 views on all your videos. Me. Anyway guys, hope you all have a swell day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. English is hard, okay? Shut up.